Hello, everyone. This is Eli Merch, and I'm really excited to present to you a set of projects of designs that I did as branding, as websites, as product designs, and even video games, and even this starting from branding, even taking the physical product design into the website e-commerce design and coding to the launch. And I will start from this one as a dark matter. It was quite a while, a long time, maybe 4 years around that time. I have worked on this project. What I want to do, I'll be running through the whole thing, starting from the beginning, from the logotype, from the package, from the style, from the going through with you through the website, wireframes, and coding. That will cover many things. And that's what I also want to say, that I'll be starting right now from this one to present many projects that I did from the past. I want to keep up, and it's really interesting, I must say, as a professional and as a person. It's interesting to put that work, those projects outside into the public, available for anyone to point them to go and explore, to bring some benefit. At the same time, it's kind of conclusive in my mind towards these projects. I like it. And the further I go, the better I start to present them. I like it. So this is a really interesting project. I really like this one. Also, I must say, in 2025, I have updated my look and feel of my branding, personal branding of my services also. And I did these two so far good videos that present my work. One is 5 minutes, and I'll show you as a services. Like I have I'm always following the structure, the system service categories, but this structure is the way I approach the business in respect to the design and services that I provide. So I always have 3 categories, and the dark matter project that I'll be presenting to you right now covers all of them. And the only difference is that, yes, we will be covering brand identity systems, in this case for sure, even including logotype. We will not be doing product SaaS and UX UI for this project, but it has a physical product, a package that I have designed. So it's kind of under this category. It's just not the SaaS. It's not digital product, so to say. And of course, website design to launch. It will be on Webflow, from Figma to Webflow, design in Figma, and development in Webflow. And it's an e-commerce. So it's interesting. I'm glad to start from this one because it's from the beginning to the end. I'm recently also did interesting project entering 2026 that has the same categorization, but it will not have any product. But it's amazing when I am working on a brand identity systems and doing from start to the end, because it keeps that consistency and it makes it well weaved, so to say, and responsive to the business goals and user needs. And I'm looking forward. I encourage you to go and check it out. My video about web design and launch, and also another video about product SaaS and UX UI. It's a kind of portfolio immersive, kind of a pleasant way of presenting those projects. And I will be later building the brand identity system in the same look and feel. Also, I want to touch business goals and user needs, because everything that I build is respecting the business goals and always who's this for in the market competitive respect as well. But I will jump right away here into inside of this presentation. I have 5 minutes, so many projects. I'm really glad about this video, but I will jump right away into the dark matter, and you will see this experience. I'd like to show also on a mobile device how it looks like, and this is the part of my portfolio where I present this project as well. And I'll be running for the whole thing, showing you how it all looks like. Just presenting a little bit as a beginning. So how I arrived to this result, and I'll be starting with you about it, talking about this. Here is the website as e-commerce, and I'll be running through the responsiveness just to present to you also inside of the Webflow. Let's go in the beginning. So how it started, dark matter. The idea to build from my client, the idea to build the product, a mushroom product, so people can actually, purchase those packages and just grow mushrooms outside of those packages, and they can choose different mushrooms, and they can collect them in their kitchen, in their storage, in order to cook beautiful meals with recipes that we recommend to download, so to say. So how it starts, really interesting play with logotypes. Logotype creation is not always clients are in need, but I like when they need it. And I like to start with my client through the process of creating logo. But I always start my process with I call it discovery calls, stakeholder interviews, kind of questionnaire. I call it brand therapies, business and brand therapies. These days, even business and brand therapies, I do quite deeply into the observation and recommendation reports and creativity and creative and strategic reports that gives a perspective to understand where to go in respect to the business, brand, and design. But here, it was quite a long time ago, so I was doing basically kind of branding therapies to ask right questions, to have these proper flowing conversations to extract the right information in respect to their business, in respect to the who's user, into competitive marketplace, what they have already, what they don't have, get to know their approach, and so on. Really important process before you start to build, because this is what dictates, this is what allows to define, make research, define the play, and also understanding competitive marketplace, business goals, and user needs, and you name it, allows you to actually chisel sculpture of this project correctly, not out of nothing, but it must be crafted and fit into something. So how logo, I will not go totally deeply into everything. It was a long time ago. I always get some kind of inspiration imagery, but I like to play also, just play, play with geometry, play with some style, some inspirations. I did like the font. I typed the font. I like how it goes. Dark matter comes out of darkness as a matter. Dark matter. This really speaks for the branding. How I came up with this icon is playing with geometry, and I'll have an example. This is the icon that was shaping, and I was playing. I like to play with symmetries and radial symmetries and play around of canceling and connecting to see what we can come up with. And this looks like kind of beautiful geometry. I'll give you some hint. This is actually the exact shape that Tesla has. I'll kid you not, I'll show you something I witnessed when you apply. So it's actually part of the sacred geometry. If you combine this, it's just ideal principle-based geometrical shape, because if you will take 3 circles and you make them to touch 2 circles in the center of the middle circle, you will get this shape. It's always, I like to build logos and iconography with respect to the principles of geometry, but there's a limitation there, because these days where we live, branding iconography is already so exhausted in the marketplace that it's always started to be harder to come up with something unique. But this one was quite a unique result. So what happens is I'm just playing with symmetry, and I'll show you here. You can see you can just cancel. I have bigger icon of radial symmetry, and you see the degrees of turn is like this, right? We have this icon here. Then we have a smaller size of that icon, and we have degrees of this icon with this cancellation in the center. When you bring them together and you kind of cancel them out, you kind of see I have many play just by enjoying the process, and you play of symmetry and subtraction. That's what happens. And then you see, wow, this is quite interesting. And because it's mushroom, it's dark matter. It's really interesting because the title speaks for the dark matter, like it's coming out of the darkness, but the icon speaks for the spore of the mushroom. And you just, read meaning into things, and you can explain things. Well, yeah, that's quite interesting. It looks like a snowflake, yeah, but also it looks like a spore. And then by itself, it doesn't really stand out. It's not really memorable. If you just, if I'll cancel, for example, this element, right, just snowflake, it's not really standing out. It can be repetitive. But just by giving this ground, because it's a mushroom, it's ground related, it's a spore, so to say, it's a dark matter. I'm taking this element 1, I delete all these, and I take this element and I put it here, and I give a distance between them. That becomes memorable, that becomes symbolical, that speaks for the logo, that speaks for the brand, and here you go. So that's how logo was created, and that was first need for my clients, so to say. I played with some other stuff, but didn't make sense. So anyways, I play around, I put them together, and this is the icon, this is the logo. And with approval, we go to the style. So that's another thing. It's always a logo type. You can do both, but logo type can go with style after conversations with decision makers. What happens is I'm building the stylescape. That's the category that we work with. So we define, it's a good idea to, based on the budget of client, you allow yourself to, as a designer, you allow yourself as a brand designer identity, you'd allow yourself to create maybe 2 or 3 versions, depending on the situation. I created 3 versions. It's best. 3 stylescapes that you think this brand can go into in visual identity perspective. So explore, build together, it's photography, it's color selection, font selection, and you name it. So we have couples, mostly all the time. We notice some elements that we like and we don't like, and it ends up that we blend things together once in a while. And here you can see the color code, for example, and some imagery and so on. So we kind of idea with a kind of chemical chemistry direction, as if they stand for gold oyster, for example, gold, right? Copper can be sakura oyster. So you're just experimenting, playing. It doesn't really mean it's terminal. But this is something that you can play. Also package, because I know we'll be building package. I'm showing you some package directions. So quickly I find some kind of mock-up. I put the logo on top, and here you go. And it's dark matter. You already can give a sense of and show the client if this is the right direction. So this one was kind of unique, generic, and box kind. Then we go to more kind of organic, ecological perspective with this package, so to say, showing this direction. And you see the dominating is green and it's cylinder. So you give a different approach, different examples. Packaging is kind of more raw, so to say. And then for third is more like lab kind of approach, more minimalistic and clean white. And it can go like this bluish. So you experiment, you play, you allow yourself to be chaotic and whatsoever. And it's more circular, let's say, and chaotic, let's say, and but also clean, kind of chemical but lab approach. So we will like all of them, of course. It always happens. We'll fall with many things in love, but you will see how it will be dictated. Some elements will be taken. Most of it will be this direction or the box. White was not clever because it will be dirty. We will take the package idea. It'll be not cylinder, and so it will be kind of blending thing in. Then also have some site as an example, as inspiration. I think follow it. Usually I don't show these kind of things. I keep it for myself, not to disturb the attention of client. Here also some ideas. I already see, okay, cool. We can actually do the packaging of different color, 6 types of mushrooms you can buy, and you can actually purchase all 6 of them with a discount to have all of them at the same time. So, playing with some ideas a little bit. So that's the stylescape and direction of colors and so on. So after that being approved, I'm going to the package. Before even going to define the brand guidelines, I'm going to the package design. I collect a lot of references in Pinterest usually, and I'm enjoying the process. You must enjoy a process. So I end up with a real measure. So I'm doing the real measure of the box, how it's going to be, and what's the process, what's the requirement. And it was interesting. So I will show you a really interesting presentation in a minute. And what I do, I'll play with exact parameters, with that exact size. I'm giving this bumpy kind of texture with logo and ideas. And I'm testing how it's going to look like when you remove the lid. Different circles. It's really beautiful. And then I play with this. This is the element that I'll be using in the presentation just in a minute. This is how it's going to look like, and I'm just going to give you a presentation. I'm making sure we're using this interesting immersive experience when you open the lid and see the elements. They're revealing themselves, and you have a sticker and so on. And we have different colors, different categories. They have different kind of blue oyster, velvet piapini, whatever the name that is, golden oyster, late oyster, and so on. They will change, and there will be idea with logotypes, and I'll be showing you in a second. And you can see even I'm having a measures of the box exactly, and I'm just going to show you right away the presentation. So I'll show you the presentation, and I'll show you the guidebook, how it looks like. This is really impressive. I was excited, what you can do in Figma, how you can present things. And I always know, as I mentioned, with video games, game UX UI design, I know that I will create great stuff. Same here. It's first time in my life, 4 years ago, I tried to build a physical product. And when you come into this as a designer, as a branding specialist, or generally, you try something new that you never deliver to the client. But I learned that you can create great stuff, whatever you take. The design thinking and systematic thinking, doesn't change. You can do anything, but the thinking approach that you as a designer, in my case, as a strategic and creative designer, is just the same. So I'm going to be clicking through and presenting you the package. Let me see if I can zoom in closer. Yeah. So I'm showing this to the client at some point when we're done with the presentation, and you just impress people, yourself and others. So you can give this interesting shadow effect. So check this out. I'm showing, I'm giving presentation, I'm recording the video, and I'm showing how it looks like, what we can do about it. It can be like this. What happens? You open the lid. You can do that. It's really interesting. It reveals the kind of the marking of chemistry for Blue Oyster, BO. We're opening it further. We see this indicating which one you have. Going further, opening it totally. To the side, I'm showing the top. To the side, I'm showing the, maybe it's also the top, or maybe it's different versions how we can go about it to decide, I think. And then the bottom or inside, I'm not sure, but trying to show different. This is the kind of the idea was to do QR in this unique way. So then I'm bringing it back, closing, showing again different versions, opening it again. Keep talking, I guess, for the presentation. Then I'm showing to the side. So on the side, there's a text. And when you close it, you reveal the lid, and you can read about Blue Oyster mushrooms to learn about it. It's really interesting branding part. This is the back side. This is the front. This is the side, and this is the back. And you can see this is indicating down, and you will see this element is also on the website. Kind of, it becomes part of the branding. And if we will be developing with this client, for example, brand identity guidelines into the second edition, I will be marking that this is the part of the branding identity. And that's what I say also for the branding identities and guidelines is when you do website and you code website, you reveal new elements, and those new elements definitely can be registered for the second, third, fourth edition of your brand identity guidelines. This kind of living, breathing process. So I'm revealing the back, and the back has that kind of thing. Honestly, this package could not only be for mushrooms, but also for a whiskey or any kind of alcohol drink, which I'm not really standing for, but it looks like a proper size packaging. So I'm kind of closing the presentation, showing what else it can be. This is the bottom. So this indicates, look at the bottom and you have the sticker. And the idea was with the sticker for the marketing perspective, I think you can collect the number of stickers kind of thing or anything like that. It's something for them to think in sales and marketing, that stickers indicate some kind of discount that you can collect perhaps. And again, bringing all of them together, closing the whole presentation, and done. And then the other part is the product guidelines. So, with approval of this product, the whole thing that I just presented to you, I create, when you do product design, in this case, physical product, this kind of guidelines, it's like a separate guidelines specifically for the product. Okay, we have and it can be inside of the brand guidelines for the whole branding, or it can be as separate. It's kind of like a Bible, so to say. Bible is many books in one. Same here. You can weave in them into one document, or you can take them separately. Specifically, this is for the physical product guidelines. So, quickly just showing the, and I'm improved since then. I improved so much in the way to present information, but it's also well done. I'm just showing, the black box front. These are the categories of the mushrooms, and they can change if they want to. Open lid, backside, side, under, and inside. This is, you see, it's like it demonstrating inside of the lid, so you can scan that. But we will be playing, this idea to maybe, it depends what's possible. It must be maybe saying QR and so on. This project could evolve further after this first service that I did for them. And as as working, I can reveal, that's the beauty when you work with one person who's doing branding and product and design, is that it becomes a partnership, and it becomes like I'm working as a partner with you as a founder, as an executive team, in order to collaborate and make sure that we reveal interesting ideas, solutions for marketing, for sales, for business, for user, for competitive marketplace, and design perspective. So that's the beauty of working that way. This is the color specifically. That's the point when you do brand guidelines specifically for the product. This is the colors code specifically for these six categories of mushrooms that they sell in a package perspective. And you see when we provide Pantone, X, RGB, and CMYK. Black box closed side, front, side, back, top, inside. So just making sure everything is clear for people who, for example, when they create this product, it's so valuable to give these guidelines to those who produce those packages, so they know what to follow. They know how it should look like. This is the whole one together, back and bottom, inside when it's empty. Also interesting to show. And here is, because it's the first edition, because they don't have any real products yet, it's a guidelines. But once they will have, the second edition for this document will be to register existing product for real that is sold into these guidelines. Black box materials, so the ideas of how the feel, the texture, how it looks like, and description is short here. Bumping effect is here. And you can see the glowing effect idea. And then the real measure. So basically it's, how to center the print, and it's also provided as an asset. And here, some measures here also in respect to X. So giving that, I think there'll be stickers. No, stickers maybe will be in a different place. I don't know. Or they here. I think I didn't connect it. That, yeah. I think I didn't connect it. Give me a second. Yeah, I skipped. I want to show you. You know what? Let me just quickly connect them, and I will, because they were not connected back in times, and now I'm, for the sake of presenting this to you, I will do that. I will go back a little bit here, backwards. Let's see. There you go. Yeah, so after measure, restart. There you go. Here also, when you open, so this one black box content inside, so it's covered with this kind of fragile kind of black paper, and it has a business card inside or kind of marking of your mushroom product, with indicating that you have it. That's also can be kind of collection that you can indicate that you have for the discount or anything like that. This is how it can look like. Also kind of guidelines how the foil, or how you call it, and the card looks like. This is how the cover of the box, it's wrapped in this paper, and you can see the sticker, and you can see the different sticker colors, and that indicates you can unstick it, and this is how it can be wrapped, so to say. And then we go to the measure, I think, but losing the track or something like that. So anyways, that's all. And then we have different ideas for the iconography. The idea was not to give a letter, but also give the icon. So it's like blue oyster, for example, and this is also late oyster, whatever the name it is, golden oyster, and different kind of iconography for each, which is more effective because people can remember. It can be memorable. But then we have different kind of ideas of applying mango. You'll see. Then we decided in respect to the recipe, in respect to which one is best for which food to apply. And when you download the recipes, they will recommend you for each mushroom to use different ingredients, so they have kind of their own indicator for food, so to say, for you to recognize instantly. So that's the package. That's the interesting experience of how the product was created. And then we go to the style guidelines. That's the branding. Let me close this one. So that will be the now itself the brand identity guidelines. It depends on, because it's beginning, not everyone needs exploded branding guidelines. I'll be showing you later another project that is called Scala that has 50 pages. It has videography and photography, but this one is a beginning. So all you need is typography. All you need is colors, logo, clean space, and some kind of guidance. Not yet photography. Photography is something for addition to. We can integrate once we actually apply that in the market. That's the right way to go about it. And you will see some evolution. For example, some pages let me show you first. So quickly, table of contents again. 4 years ago, and these days I'm working on much more complex brand identities than before. Master logo, alternative logo, and they are like assets are provided to my clients to use. This is the measure, and not really that important, but they are presented. Clear space is the key. So usually when I provide assets of the branding logo, I give this specifically with a clear space to respect the professional look and feel. And some logo, icon, and mark. So this is also how to use it. Color code. So this is the idea. Also, your size that indicates what color to use. And I must say again, once you build a website, once you apply it into the product and everywhere else, you will start to notice which color is actually much more effectively used over the market digital touch points, so to say, or physical touch points. And you'll notice, and then you can register to the second or third or fourth edition of the brand identity guidelines. You will register which actually color is used and which one we're actually not going to use. So it's a living, breathing process. For example, you will notice that it's kind of, we canceled, you will see we'll cancel the pink color. I think that's the main change was with the colors. And then played with different exploration of different colors, how we can use it, because it's a process, it's not something you register right away. It's not theoretical. It must be practical. Practice shapes the theoretical direction eventually once applied in the market. Here also some different play of how we can play with the colors, but this is something I'm putting aside and not showing to the client. I think this is not a really good idea. Let's go just black and white, and that's it. But eventually we can play more if we want to. And some fonts, also different fonts will be presented as well. Let me just run quickly through. This is how we can present that with yellow dominance and blue dominance. You can see even how page mark can look like. Font selection and basic things. So it's basic guidelines, not that deep, not massive. And some ideas I have. Sometimes I have these ideas and I just put them aside. We can play. That's always what happens when you build brand identity. You have some ideas. You don't know where to put it. You don't know where to apply it. You put it to the side. You think, okay, this is really interesting. This can be, for example, for the cover of some kind of document, perhaps. Or like this can be some kind of maybe booklet that will have, this is how we can present it. That's already interesting to test how the font can look like, how the experience can look like. And this already can dictate some kind of flavor for the website. You will notice like this one, really beautiful, really interesting, right? This is something to apply. So it's an interesting project. So we're done with branding now. Let's go to the website. So with everything approved, we just covered with you the first service of the branding identity, but also we covered with you the product design for the physical product that I never done. This is the only one time I did this kind of product design. Digital product designs I did, and I'll be showing you more of them. But physical, it's really exciting, and I'm looking forward to play with something more like that and build some presentations as such. It's exciting. And so what happens next? I need to build a website for the beginning. What sometimes I do, knowing that the client is thinking ahead in advance, I'm building sitemaps of free versions, how they're going to evolve. The sitemap for evolution of the website. This is really clever to do sometimes when the client is going into the market. So what I do, I'm evolving this, and I'm coming to the understanding that they will be free categories. So first, the service that I provided will be just landing page, basically. Dark matter website sitemap, phase 1, pre-purchase black box collection. So what they're gonna do, they don't have much to go to. It's okay, they're just starting. So I'm indicating for the MVP that all they need is just a landing page for the black box for now. That will go, of course, to each product anyways. Then we have a second one where they have about, contact us, black box collection support, because they will be expanding to the new products. And then the third one will be more complete kind of pages to integrate here. I know the articles, videos, maybe some case studies. I don't know. Maybe I included some case studies. I don't know. Store, it'll become a store kind of purchasing different products, but now they have only one product, and now they just landing page basically. So it's really clever to provide your client with some kind of perspective how they will evolve with their website. And then what we do, of course, we go to the wireframes. You already probably remember from other projects that I did. Here I'm really quick because it's just landing page basically. I'm doing it really quickly, and I'm deciding on a couple. So it's basically one landing page, and it's messy. At that time, 4 years ago, I made it more messy, and it's okay, totally. This is the right phase to be messy. It doesn't have to be beautiful. So the quick ideas that I present and talk through with my client, and once we approve, we go to the visuals, and just quick, simple ideas that speaks. And then when you get into the selecting the product, you're just going to reveal the product into the cart and so on. Basic stuff. So I'm not going to go for the whole thing. And let's go to the visuals. So what visuals is, again, playing with different things without the box, but then really interesting. I'll tell you this. This is the place, this is the time, and gray was not really good, so I went up with a white. This is the time when everything comes together. When logo that I created, the branding that I created, the product that I created come into the wireframes that I build, and we see the visuals coming all together on the framework. And then we'll be coding that e-commerce website eventually. I like this process, taking from branding to the design and even the product, because everything becomes consistent. This is the beautiful moment when it all comes together. And again, you reveal new things. You see that, it's really good. Yellow dominant color for this project, and this gradient blue is also in white and black. So it's e-commerce. It was also interesting for me at that time to build first-time e-commerce website. And, we're going this way. So, when you hover over, I'll show you the website. So, building those icons and giving it flavors. Photography is really good. You can download the recipe and so on. So this is what you have. And I'll be just showing you just in a second the website itself. So, building that, some ideas of purchasing, checkout, some sign in, basic things. You can see this Stripe becomes kind of identity, create account, sign up, basic stuff. And so let's go into this. We're done with and collateral. Also, before I'll go to the website, something I want to show another. Sometimes that always happens. Not always. Sometimes it happens that we continue to explore other assets to create, and it's really good when the same person who created everything can do the same thing, because it becomes consistent. I'm already doing as a therapist, so to say, brand therapist, business and brand therapist. I know you. I build the things. So it's really clever to come. It saves time, saves money, and prevents from headaches. So it was really good to do some kind of document that we needed to create as infographical, presenting information, more of kind of educating audience in respect to the mushrooms and meat. Really good information I had from my client and decision maker. Really clever approach. And to present that information, I like to build infographics and proper information to demonstrate why mushrooms over meat and so on, or political perspective also, carbon, kind of ecological and so on. Really clever, clever stuff to build some real stuff. They're showing the real thing, that they are realistic, that they're existing in the market. This is their space where they were growing mushrooms, and some process. So educating, demonstrating kind of audience and people. So let's go into the other thing. That will be the website itself. So here we are in a Webflow. You can see exactly, I like to build exactly as you see design in the development. And I'll be showing you responsiveness in a second. You can see accept all cookies. You can shop now. You can discover more. And this is what happens when you hover over. You can read it. There's space to improve. If it's 4 or 5 years ago I built this, I would maybe minimize the spacing to respect, even though it fits well. It's still on this device, but I would improve in some places based on evaluating myself. You can download the recipe, so to say. It's a clever way to give the sales funnel, so to say, free value for audience and to sell them on willing to purchase. What else? Yeah, basic information. You can scroll back. You can go here and there. How you can pay for the information, contacting them. So what happens basically? You just select as a user. You can select shop now, one of those, and it's gonna take you to the where you can buy them. So you can just choose which one you want to buy out of 6, and you can check out. If you didn't purchase, you can see we have 0. But if I, for example, check the blue oyster, and you can see the cross it, I can cross it always back. Blue oyster is going to show me, so I can say, hey, okay, I want to buy 4 of blue oysters. Add to my cart. It's adding to the cart, so I have 4 oysters. I can check out if I want to. That's the box, right? So I can remove if I want to, and I can change actually even number. That's really interesting. So that's the price, for example, and I can go and check out. I think I can go to the account also. I can sign in. I forgot my password. Sign in, create account. Yeah, so it's there. So that's basically what I have created for them. And it was interesting. Also, I wanted to show you, right? I wanted to go back here into the Webflow and reveal to you the responsiveness. So you see it's stretching, and it'll be okay actually to read this good. So I like to demonstrate that there's responsiveness. I don't know, it's always, for some reason, when I'm presenting in a Webflow, it's always opening the cart for me. So you can see, I like to indicate that it's all responsive. I hope I'll not bump into some kind of mistake here as I'm presenting. I will not, but so it's a minimal as that. You can see the full cart and close it. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So they will stack on each other like that. Yeah, that's it. I wanted to present to you guys. I hope this was interesting. I think I'm happy. I'm happy to present to the whole process. It was quite an interesting project. The beauty of being a designer and starting from the beginning of talking with, let me go actually to the YouTube presentation. I have this one, right? I like to show always that graph. The beauty of starting correctly from the beginning, like, you don't know any. So when I talk, it's really interesting business goals. So you get to know your client. I get to know my client, and I get to know this business situation. I like to understand their goals. I like to do the therapies to understand the situation. And it's not just beauty. It's not UI. It's user experience, and it's business respecting branding and competitive marketplace respecting. And most importantly is respecting user needs. Who is your user? What is the pain? What is the gain? What they after? Do we know them well? And so on. So important. So this is what I'm defining, and I'm building that. It's so beautiful to build the whole brand identity guideline system, apply that. And if it's physical product, mostly I do the digital products. And it's the only one time I played with the physical. But building even that, and I'll show you another. You remember probably if you checked Layla project, you can check actually, I think it's going to appear here. Layla project where I built the website for them and branding. I will be showing to you also, eventually I work with them further to build the product for them. So this also happens, digital product. I'm looking forward to show you that one. And but when you do that, that's what happens actually, because for example, Layla project that you're going to see later, and maybe you saw before, we did the branding with the logo, we did the website and coding. But eventually it makes sense, because when you know them well, it makes sense for the same person to build the product for their brand, because branding and website was built by the same person, me, and building product, it makes sense because it will be on brand, it will be respective, it's going to weave together perfectly. It's luxury, I would say. It's not everyone, not every designer or specialist like I am who does that, right? We don't want to spread ourselves too thin. And I also don't like to go too speciality oriented or industry oriented, because the same design and systematic thinking that I have, it doesn't matter. I like to play with different industries, I like to build with different stuff. But I'm saying I like my branding mentor told me once that it's not going horizontal, it's not going vertical, it's going V shape. So I am deep and also broad, so to say, in Master of None, almost a decade of experience. And that's why it's so unique and luxury to collaborate with people like myself as an expert, because I'm filling in the gap and it becomes consistent and saving time, saving money and headaches, so to say. But anyways, what I want to say here is beautiful to take and build the identity. It's beautiful to take and build the wireframes for the website or whatsoever, even the product, in this case, physical product, taking all that into the wireframes, building that visuals in one place, coding that. Even coding, development in Webflow reveals new elements. And when the same person does that, the same person can register that beauty into the novel brand identity guidelines as edition 234 whatsoever. And then when code, highly responsive, high fidelity results launching, and this case is e-commerce. That's just for myself, and I think for client is value for sure. And for myself, it's just interesting to witness what we bring out of nowhere into something. Recently, I had an interesting project. Again, I mentioned I'll be showing you also latest project. Really glad about that. Loom Art. We did the same branding and design, and it's a courage for client and courage for us, for everyone, to make that step, leap of faith, so to say, and courage to make that happen. And it's beautiful once we arrive to the end and we say, you know what, we happy, they happy. It was quite courageous that we decided to build it. We're happy with the results. We built out of nothing something. We were involved, engaged, invested, and we built it. That's a beautiful thing. That's all, guys. That's all I wanted to share with you. The Dark Matter, I'm really happy with the project. It was really fascinating to build it. I would love to close it. I would love Dark Matter to exist, to evolve. Unfortunately, I know that they didn't manage to survive in the market, and I couldn't continue. I would love to continue if they will come back, but would evolve it better and so on. And I must say that quite often, from expertise, we know that many startups actually die, and this is something you don't witness, but we learn that many startups, many beginners, they die in the market, and unfortunately, we didn't see them coming to the light. And sometimes as a professional, you see that your work will not see light further. That's unfortunate, but you gain a lot of expertise as a professional, and you will serve eventually. In my case, I serve lately, and I believe in my clients. I believe in their expertise in marketing and business. I hope that they can make that happen, because you will see your work to live in a market and people using it, and it's really beautiful to achieve that level. That's all. I hope this was helpful and interesting. This is Amy Merch. Enjoy your day and continue. I'll see you in the next one.